Hi guys, it's me Atticus, and I'm just here. No robes, no sabers. Let's talk for a minute. I'd like us to try a little word association experiment. What comes to your mind when you hear this phrase? Jedi act without prejudice. Yes, it's from our doctrine, but don't go looking for it just yet. We'll put this in a broader context shortly. For now, just think of your first reactions to this precept. Jedi act without prejudice. For many of us, prejudice is something of a loaded term, isn't it? At least here in the States, that single word is frequently associated with a whole raft of issues that our society has been grappling with for centuries. Some hear the word prejudice and immediately think of racial prejudice. It connotes discrimination, whether subtle or overt, against a person or a group of people on the basis of some immutable characteristic, such as ethnicity, national origin, religious belief, sexual orientation. So it's understandable that this connotation of prejudice might be the first thing that comes to your consciousness. In many so-called Western societies, we're under significant social pressure to conform to a standard of behavior that leaves no room for overt discrimination of this sort. Now, we could get into a comprehensive discussion about what characteristics are immutable, things people can't change about themselves, and which are not immutable, overt versus subtle discrimination, why it's still okay to hold prejudiced viewpoints about some characteristics like gender, when we would find those views abhorrent if we were talking about race. Well, that's not the purpose of this message. So it's perfectly valid if your first reaction was along these lines. Well, I'm not racist. So you can check that one off, right? Or perhaps you've done some thinking about this question already. You recognize that everyone has biases, preconceived opinions, that your mind brings these along to any analysis. It doesn't even have to be one of the big ones like race or religion. Here's an easy one. I loathe the taste of lima beans. Oh, I'm well aware of their nutritional value. I know that some people really like them. I'm still not going to eat lima beans. If you serve me lima beans, I don't have to taste them. I don't have to take your lima beans on their individual merit. I've come to the table with a preconceived value judgment, and that's going to control my behavior with respect to your lima beans. That's a valid definition of prejudice. But Jedi act without prejudice, so does that mean I'm not a Jedi if I don't eat lima beans? How do you reconcile that? Okay, now we can take a step back and look at the broader doctrine. Teaching 11 says, Jedi are mindful of their thoughts, we recognize the beauty in others, and we provide help to those who come seeking it. Through our benevolent actions, we strengthen not only ourselves, but also our communities. Jedi act without prejudice. If you read that last line back through the entire teaching, it starts to make more sense. Our benevolent actions refer to acting for another's benefit despite any preconceived biases or value judgments we might discover ourselves to hold. We recognize the beauty in others, no matter who or what they are, what beliefs they hold, or what we perceive they may have done to themselves or others or even us personally. And here's a big one. We provide help to those who come seeking it. Period. There's no qualifier on the end of that sentence. It doesn't say, we provide help to those who come seeking it unless, fill in the blank. There are 6 clauses in this teaching, and sometimes when you read a part of our doctrine, it can seem like different ideas are grouped together in ways that don't necessarily make intuitive sense first time you read them. But they're really not random at all. There's a purpose to the way these 6 clauses are structured together. Jedi are mindful of their thoughts. We perceive and we acknowledge our prejudices, our preconceived value judgments, biases, and opinions, our past hurts, the things that lodge within the reptile brain and trigger emotional responses. But we don't let any of those things affect our benevolent acts, our recognition of the miraculous in everyone we encounter, our providing help to all who seek it. Because Jedi act without prejudice.